It is extremely important to me that the stories we share are authentic and that we strive to tell both perspectives. I've been a local to this remarkable island 3 times and a tourist too many times to count. Our Home Your Holiday celebrates Aruba. There's a reason why Arubans are so patriotic, and there's a reason why visitors keep coming back. Let's dive into the elements that makes Aruba our home and the perfect holiday. Thanks for joining us. I'm your host, Yanto Liu. If you missed our last episode, we were talking about vacation rentals. The reason we're filming in my under construction backyard is because we are beautifying and investing in this place in order to offer it up as a vacation rental. We speak to an Aruban who was born and raised here, who also owns a small business where the majority of his profits come from people who rent out vacation homes. Now, he says, of course, there are positive economic aspects to this industry, but there are also social implications that we should all be aware of as well. Alpha Tours is Randy Herman's small business. The demand for transfers from his company has grown significantly with the rise of vacation rentals. Aruba relies heavily on tourism as its primary economic driver. According to Randy, vacation rentals now level the playing field, granting the entire community of Aruba an opportunity to benefit from the industry in a way that was previously unattainable.
And I know that our hotel business or hotel industry already has enough to maintain Aruba's economy. So this grows Aruba's economy exponentially. So also it allows people that are not necessarily working down here in North area to profit from the industry. So it's a diversification in the social part of how it affects the island, not only in one area, but it eventually grows in other areas too.
Randy says this new thriving tourism trend goes beyond economic benefits. He has observed firsthand certain neighborhoods on the island with improved maintenance as a result of vacation rentals. He uses a very familiar area as an example.
For example, if I can mention in Post Chiquito by Mangalhalto, where I grew up, now there are so many Airbnbs, and I see the positive thing how the area is very well kept. So the area is kept not only for tourists but for locals also. So it does have a positive impact, yes, definitely.
You may remember during the last episode of Our Home Your Holiday, we interviewed a private chef who opened up a small business of his own with the demand from vacation rentals.
Very positive for the economy, also for my business, because we're doing this full time. So when we started, we depended like on 10 events a month, so we couldn't do it full time. But now that the vacation rentals are growing, we are booked the full month.
It turns out Randy knows him.
I'm also a teacher at EPI in hospitality industry. So the chef happens to be my ex-student. The other concierge young man happens to be my ex-student. So as I said earlier, it diversifies where people can work. The chef is still performing his talent, his art, and I may say on a high level, without having to be working specifically in a hotel. And as you say, because he cannot buy in big amounts, he has to use smaller purveyors. So there's where you see that smaller purveyors also will benefit from the industry. Absolutely.
Do you guys remember when I applied for a new job? Well, if you don't, here is the video application to refresh your memory. I've got some great news for you. You for sure won't need this jacket. You won't even need this umbrella. You may want to grab yourself a pair of sunglasses, and you will definitely want to apply some sunscreen because we are in Aruba, and for 365 days a year, we have perfect weather. Sunny and breezy, and I think it's about 86 degrees Fahrenheit right now. So, ATA, how did I do? Do you think I could be considered for the world's easiest job? I know I live here, but I thought I'd give it a try. With jokes aside, the world's easiest job is a clever and fun contest hosted by Aruba Tourism Authority. They are in search of a weather person for Aruba for 1 week. Since the island is known for its perfect weather year-round, the gig is being dubbed the world's easiest job. ATA is calling all Sunny personalities to apply for the role as Aruba's weather person. The chosen weather man or woman will get a 7-day, 6-night trip to the One Happy Island. To enter is straightforward. There are 2 steps. First, record your best 30-second weather report, just like I did. Then register and submit. You will have to fill in some basic information about yourself, but there is no catch here. Then you simply click submit. Now, this campaign is not only great for the winning weather person, but it's been fantastic for the island as well, since the world's easiest job has received a tremendous amount of international press coverage, including prestigious publications such as Forbes, encouraging people to apply, Travel and Leisure saying the job comes with a week in paradise. We've also got Thrillist informing readers that Aruba wants to give you the easiest job. Then there's Yahoo News also announcing that the island is hiring. It turns out I didn't get the job, probably disqualified since I live here. Aruba Tourism Authority recently announced the lucky weather person. Congratulations to the applicant all the way from Texas.
I'm your new weather person here in Aruba. Today's forecast is 80 degrees and sunny. This is the easiest job in the world.
We will see you in Augustville. What a fun initiative hosted by ATA. Climate change is happening all over the world and being felt in different ways. One of the ways it's affecting Aruba is its coral reefs due to the rising and falling of sea levels. Recently, a group of scientists presented a comprehensive study on the island's coral health to a large group of people on the island who work closely with Aruba's nature. Dr. Patrick Boyden, one of the lead scientists in this study, said they focused their research on the modern and paleo environment, meaning fossil records were also examined.
So what's really beautiful about Aruba, Curacao, and Bonaire is that they're surrounded by a succession of what we term as geologists marine terraces. So these marine terraces are developed over thousands of years as coral reefs grow and follow sea level rise.
The ocean rising and falling is a natural cycle. Through this action, the reefs accumulate, but as sea levels fall, the reefs are exposed and ultimately die, but they leave behind traces, which is where the researchers can really dive in and look into the reef community closely. They can see what corals were like at the time, what traits the corals have, such as their shapes, which plays a quintessential role on how those corals responded to adverse conditions such as changing climates, for example. According to Patrick, much more is being examined, especially when it comes to how it relates to climate change.
We're also looking in the modern environment where we conduct a very similar study but on modern reefs. So as the reef, we map the reef profile and look at the different colonies that are there, and we try to get an overall view, a comprehensive view of what the community dynamics are now, and try and think about how the paleo, what we would term as a baseline, so what the non-human environment would look like in a changing climate, what is it looking like now in a changing climate with human impact.
Furthermore, another big aspect of the research is on the extreme storms and extreme wave events.
While Aruba is blessed with being south of the hurricane belt, there are, of course, impacts on the coastlines. And as sea levels rise, as climate intensifies those processes, there's a greater risk to Arubans living on the coastline. That's something that we also want to highlight, that we found evidence of repeated events, and these repeated events will lead to a better understanding of what's the return period. So how often do these events possibly occur?
The summer holiday is soon upon us. Many people will be traveling. I encourage you, while you are on your travels, to take a look at travel trends that hasn't hit Aruba yet. Recently, I went to Amsterdam and discovered 2 really unique travel trends over there. One of them being an honesty bar. Now, this may look like a typical hotel lobby bar, but there is one very unique aspect to it. Welcome to an honesty bar where you serve yourself and where you are also entrusted to report exactly what you served yourself. Coffee and tea are complimentary, but when it comes to sodas, juices, and alcoholic beverages, it is up to the guest to be honest and fill in what they had on a card and drop it into the jar so what they consumed can be charged to their room. This bar has all the fixings from hard liquor to beers and even ingredients to make your own craft cocktails. There is no supervision at the bar at all. It is up to the individual to be honest. So I grabbed myself a wine glass, opened the fridge to a bottle of rosé, and poured myself a generous serving. Cheers. I am on vacation after all. Afterwards, I marked it on the designated slip of paper and dropped it into the jar where it gets collected at the end of the day. When I checked out, everything I reported from the honesty bar was on my bill. Elise and Elke are both receptionists at Hotel 28. We hear from them firsthand on the concept and why they think it works.
So we work with an honesty bar, so that means that we put the trust, the faith in our guests. So we trust them on picking their own drink and writing it down on a little note, and then we can book it to the room. We do that by having a little note. So there's a little note on the side of the bar where the guests can write down what they had for a drink. And anytime that we see the note laying there, we'll pick it up and we'll book it on a room, or if we're really busy, we do it at the end of the day.
Elise says the honesty bar simply makes sense for both the hotel and the guest.
It's not convenient to have somebody standing there the whole day. So I think it's really convenient for the guests, so they can do it themselves, and it's kind of a self-service way, but also for us because we don't need somebody to stand there the whole day. And if the guests do have questions or do want us to make a drink for them, we can always do that.
This unconventional bar setup can work, but it does come down to the demographic.
So far, I haven't. I know that not everybody might be honest all the time, but I do believe that our target group is the right group of people to have faith in.
And who is your target market?
So we have a mixture between long stay, corporate, and leisure guests, about like 30%.
Elke says it may be inevitable that something ultimately slips through.
I think it works until now. So I don't know that, I don't know which people didn't, how do you say it? Like, I don't know if people grabbed something and then didn't write it down, but I think there will be people that will not do it. But I think we have to trust people that they will.
But with that being said though, trust and honesty can go a very long way.
A lot of things wrong in the world right now, and I think if we trust people a little bit more, it will be a much more beautiful world.
There you have it, an honesty bar. Feel free to send me any photos or videos on travel trends that you discover this summer and email it to me at ourhomeyourholiday@gmail.com. I'll make sure to share those. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed the show. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel for on-demand stories as well as full episodes. We produce weekly original content all about Aruba. We recently did one about birthdays, Aruba style, and we also focus a lot on nature as well as wellness. Signing off right here in my backyard that is still very much under construction for vacation rental purposes. I'm Yentl Liu. We'll see you next time.